My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Lights Out. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But nobody ever talks about this movie, and I think they really should. I got a few issues here and there, but this is a very fun and a very creepy movie. So let's begin by talking about the cast, and Teresa Palmer does a great job here. She's likable, she brings personality to this movie, she's convincing, and she just carries this movie incredibly well. Gabriel Bateman, I thought, did a very good job. He sold you on everything that he needed to. Alexander DePorgia does a good job, but I just really like the way this character is written because when you first meet the boyfriend, you think he might be a sleazy douchebag, but it actually turns out that this is the best guy on the planet. He loves Rebecca, he wants to protect Rebecca, he believes Rebecca, he just makes every right decision. So it's a nice subversion of expectations with what you are expecting from this character. So he actually really stands out. Maria Bello is a character who is always in a dark place, and she does that incredibly well. And Billy Burke, I didn't recognize him without his mustache. I mainly know him from the Twilight movies, but he does a pretty good job despite the minimal screen time. So the cast is really good, but it's David F. Sandberg's direction that really allows this movie to stand out. And I enjoy his Shazam movies enough, but it bums me out that he wasted so much time doing superhero movies. I I wish he stayed in Hull because between this movie, Annabelle Creation, and hopefully Until Dawn, this guy just understands the genre. He understands tension and atmosphere, and that is on full display here. And this movie is quite scary. Like that scene where Rebecca and Martin are in the basement, and they're like, why would she do this? It's a trap. And then they look at the top of the stairs and Diana shuts the door. That's a great moment. Or when Martin gets attacked from under the bed. Or when Diana is in Rebecca's apartment and the neon light keeps flashing. Or the opening. Or the entire climax. That scene when she puts out their file, so good. So like this movie really does get under my skin, and Diana is such a menacing presence. Just her eyes and the way she looks in the shadows, just really well done. But I love the way this movie plays around with lights. They understand the gimmick and just fully delivered. So we get a scene with automatic motion light detectors. That's really great. We get a scene of a flashlight that keeps dying. We get a scene of a character using a candle and he has to move slowly so the flame doesn't go out. There's neon lights, there's black light, those car headlights, that scene is just so good. So I just feel like this movie gave me everything that I wanted from this premise. The movie is very well shot, the sound is great, the music by Benjamin Wallfish can be quite unnerving, and I do like the story. When it's focusing on the family and their past and their trauma, it's really good. Like, this movie is about depression and living in darkness and mental health. But I don't like the ending of this movie because Diana is attached to the mom. So in order to save her family, the mom, and that's how they win. And the mom is a character who is depressed. She is just so unhappy and she feels trapped. And the fact that to save her family, I think that sends a bad message. I would have preferred it if there was some sort of joy or happiness that got rid of Diana instead. But after I watched the movie, I did watch some deleted scenes, and it turns out there was another ending planned. Well, they go back to Rebecca's apartment, and Diana has latched on to Martin because he's now depressed. But Rebecca set a trap for Diana and they defeat her once and for all. And I didn't like the scene at all. If I was watching the movie, it would have felt so tacked on, and I would have been like, yeah, you need to cut this. And it turns out when they test screened this movie, everyone agreed. Like, it's great, get rid of the second ending. You know, especially because they feel like it also dampens the mom's sacrifice. But now we get an ending that feels a bit questionable. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's just, they couldn't figure out a way to properly end this movie. And I did read an interview with David F. Sandberg where he's like, no, I did not want to communicate that at all. And I believe him, but it's just unfortunate the way things played out here. And my other issue with this movie is the fact that I didn't need a backstory of Diana. It could have just been a random ghost that disappears when the lights are turned on, and the ghost could have just been a metaphor for depression. I would have much preferred that, because the story we get just doesn't work, and I feel like it gives us too much information. But I do really like this movie. Like, I know there was a sequel planned, and I wish it happened. I wish it became a franchise, but it's also difficult to do that when they gave us the backstory that this movie did. So, like, so much of this movie I love, but there's just two baffling decisions that not only dampen this movie, but also dampen its franchise potential. But that all said, I really like this movie. I think David F. Sandberg directs this movie incredibly well. It is tense, it's got a creepy atmosphere, it is very scary, it knows the gimmick and just fully delivers. The cast all does a really great job, and it's just a very fun movie to watch. So I'm giving Lights Out a 7.5 out of 10. I do believe that maybe we didn't get a sequel because of how the ending was received. But I hope we do get it one day. But lights out. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin,